Hi, my name is Antionette Simmons, and I chose to take part in the Pass the Baton Mentoring Program because I was at a point, a crossroad in my life where I knew God was trying to elevate me in my ministry. However, I had some things that I needed to deal with internally in order for Him to use me at 100%. So I knew that I needed help to overcome what I needed to overcome because I wasn't willing to do it on my own. So take the pass the baton was the perfect program for me.
I know I am.
It was rough. It was really rough for me because I'm usually the one who always encouraging other people and taking on their burdens, but I had to look in the mirror and really face myself and be honest with the things that I was dealing with. And a lot of times I cried, I was angry, um, I made excuses, but I had to just really be obedient to what God was calling me to do. And it was a process that I had to go through, just like anything that you do, like with the human body. When something is broken, sometimes it has to be broken even further in order for it to heal back properly. And it's a painful process, but in the end, you're better off. So it was one of those things I had to endure. It was painful, but it was well worth it in the end.
Waiting for your Lord to take me and make me new.
Two in particular kind of stand out to me. One was dealing with a specific person and having to face that person after a number of years of not talking to them, and revealing to them something that I had been holding on to that had been keeping me in chain and was literally part of the underlying issues that I was dealing with, and having to express to them how their actions affected me and not really expecting a response back, apology or understanding. That was really hard for me to do. It took me several weeks to even communicate with the person. And number two was realizing that what I thought I was doing right actually turned out to not be right, and admitting that I needed help in order to cross into the next phase in my program. The unveiling the mask, modules 3 and 4. To me, it was like I'm good with analogies. It was like a sea. There are times during those 2 phases in a program where the sea was calm, things went smoothly. I can gaze over the ship boat and see the fish and the dolphins jumping. And then all of a sudden, storm clouds would come through and water is getting in the boat. I can't see, I can't feel, my heart was racing. I was afraid, I was angry. I couldn't see the shore, I couldn't see the end of the rain that was coming down. But then I remembered that Jesus was still walking with me. And so I had to allow Him to be in control of the situation. And eventually, as I put my faith and trust in God, the storm didn't seem as bad. And so in those modules, yes, it was hard. I literally went through storms during that process because there were things that God not only had to show me, but put me through in order for me to break those yokes. I had to completely submit. And so I couldn't take the wheel anymore. And so once I stopped taking the wheel, that's when the storm was calm. So it was a rocky situation, but I saw the rainbow in the end. At peace. In the process, God revealed some additional gifts that I did not know that I had, or some gifts that I was operating in indirectly. And ministries were birthed out of those visions that God showed me. And so I'm at a place of peace where I know exactly who God called me to be. I know exactly what his purpose is for my life, and I'm walking in that purpose. And so my only goal is to help others the same way that Pastor Baton helped me.
Father, it's me. Please hear me.
Yes, the 7 months was well worth it. Because I think for me, I was willing. And sometimes people aren't willing to really go through things that they need to go through, especially when you've been in bondage and captivity for so long. Those become norm for you. And so when it's time to take those things off and release it, sometimes you hesitate to do that. But the whole program, it seemed to go by really quickly, but I felt it was well worth it, and I wish I had done it much sooner in my life.
Take me and make me know.
My next steps is to continue putting the strategies that God has placed in my heart at practice every day, which I do. Also sharing the tips and tricks that I've been taught, reading my word. And also, I'm also launching my own mentoring program where I'm helping women and young girls who may be dealing with the same type of things that I was dealing with. And helping them take flight in their own journey and knowing what their purpose is in God's will.
Take me, Lord, yeah. Hallelujah.
I would recommend Pastor Baton to anyone, whether it's male or female, because you get to learn about you, not what other people have labeled you to be, not what your job or your family titles that they have given you, but truly who you are spiritually, who God created you to be. It is a program that truly was ordained by God, and his hand is on. And so if you have a desire to know who your Savior is and what he called you to do, and you're ready to operate in that purpose, Pass the Baton is a great program for you.